Now, people always ask me all the time, Patrick, how do I become a great salesperson? And they always ask me what books should they read, what should they do on a day-to-day basis, and what kind of strategies and tactics they should be learning. Now, although all these things are great, in my opinion, to become a salesperson aren't actually any of these strategies and tactics. It's all about developing the right sales mindset. Now, if you want to be good at sales, there's honestly a lot of things that you can learn out there. What to say, what to do, how many times to follow up, and things like that. And most people actually focus on these strategies and tactics. But honestly, after being in sales myself and coaching thousands of people across the world, the thing I've realized is that to actually become a great salesperson starts from the mindset. Because if you don't have the right mindset, none of the strategies and tactics are going to work. However, if you do have the right mindset, suddenly everything starts to click. So in this video, I'm going to show you the top 3 sales mindset to achieve sales excellence. So if you're ready to get started with this video, make sure you give this video a like because every like does go a long way as it's a new channel. And if you want to see new sales videos every single week, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Now, the first sales mindset tip that we're going to cover is attitude. And your attitude basically determines how you do everything. So let's go ahead and just define what attitude means. Attitude is a way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically reflected in a person's behavior. So essentially what that means is that how you feel about something or how you feel about your sales job will influence your behaviors and actions that you do on a day-to-day basis. So I'll give you an example of this. Back when I was starting my sales career working at a large company, I remember I had to cold call every single morning. Now I remember when I first started, right, there are already people working in this office, and a lot of people actually came into the office really late and they would get a cup of coffee and chat around and basically just hang out for 30 minutes before they even made their first call. So not only were they late, but they were starting work even later. And when they made those calls, they had this attitude that nobody wanted to talk to them and that they weren't gonna get any sales. So they were just comfortable collecting a salary without generating any commissions, right? And at a large company, you kind of can get away with this. So this was obviously a bad attitude because if you don't even believe that you can sell anything and you're just relying on the salary, then you're not gonna get any results. And so their attitude of not believing that they can actually sell this product and not even believing the product itself reflected in their everyday behavior and coming in late to work every day, just hanging out, drinking coffee, talking to coworkers. And that's obviously not the right sales mindset you need to have for sales excellence. Now on the reverse end, when I started, there were other people who were actually hardworking, and I tried to pick up the right habits from these people. And these people, and I would put myself in this bucket, would come in early, get ready to make their phone calls and then really just start on time or start early and show up day after day after day until they get the results they're looking for. And personally for me, when I started to make my first cold calls, I would not only come in early, I would, stretch and warm up my voice like la 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 la. And then when I would make my calls, instead of thinking, oh, nobody wants to buy my product or service, our product's not competitive, instead of thinking negatively like that, I had a positive attitude and I thought anybody that I call today is going to be lucky because I am going to help their business, right? So instead of having a negative attitude and believing that I cannot help anybody, I totally flipped it around and said, every single person that I cold call today is blessed because I'm gonna call them and I'm going to help their business. Now, not everybody is going to say yes and will buy my products and services. However, by having that attitude, it really does increase your chances of success and your chances of people actually doing business with you. And if you do this for a long period of time, obviously you're gonna be much more successful than the people with a negative, bad attitude. So your attitude influences your behavior and what you do on a day-to-day basis. And so that's why if you don't have the right mindset and the attitude to succeed in sales, obviously you're not going to do the right things day to day to actually get the job done. Now, the next sales mindset tip that we're going to cover is actually going to be your ability to learn. Now, here's the thing. Most people believe that once they learn a special sales methodology that they can just go out there and start closing deals like crazy. And the truth is that's actually far, far, far from the truth. It doesn't matter how great of a system you learn, there's no replacement for going out there, doing the work, getting experience, and reflecting on what you can do better. And I found the best salespeople are the ones who are willing to learn. Now, here's the thing about people. A lot of people out there, not just salespeople, but in everyday life, they're very stubborn to learn, right? And when things don't go their way, they typically will blame external factors to why things didn't go right. So for example, during my sales career, I remember people, losing deals, right? And they would say like, oh, I lost this deal because the customer doesn't understand what we are selling. Or they'll say, I lost this deal because our product is not competitive, right? And just making excuse after excuse after excuse. Although these things may be true, like the customer doesn't understand the product or the product's not even competitive, the thing is, as a salesperson, and if you really want to improve, you have to put the responsibility on yourself. And so instead of saying, hey, the customer doesn't understand what we're selling, right? They're not tech savvy. For example, if you're selling a technology product, you could say, what can I do better to simply explain what our product and services do so that someone who is not technical can understand it? So as you can see here, we're totally flipping it. Instead of blaming other people for why we're not generating sales, we put the responsibility on ourselves and we are able to control the desired outcome that we're looking for, and that is to close more deals. So when you go out there and you start selling, right? Some deals that you're gonna lose, some deals you're gonna win, but you always need to reflect back and think, okay, what could I have done better next time? How should I prepare better next time? Maybe I should try a different approach to maybe increase my conversion ratio and close more deals, right? Because if you don't have this learning mindset of constantly improving, how can you become a great salesperson, right? Because if you're not doing this, you're literally stagnant and you're not getting better at all. And some people, maybe they might start out pretty decent at sales and they think, oh, I'm doing better than average, and they'll just continue the cruise. But if you want to achieve sales excellence, no matter where you're starting, whether it's the bottom or the top, you have to be able to admit when you're not doing as well as you should, learn from your mistakes, and then continue to improve over time. And if you do this, basically every working day, then obviously you will achieve sales excellence over time. And another thing about becoming great at sales, you might be sitting here watching this video and you might think like, hey, maybe you're not a sales natural. And to be honest, myself, when I was growing up, especially as a teenager, I was extremely socially awkward, right? And you might be watching this video and you might think, oh, Patrick is this sales guy. He's like very energetic and blah, blah, blah. But, a couple years ago, or not too long ago, that was far from the truth. I was very shy, very awkward. And if someone said that I was a salesperson, they would probably just laugh at me. But the thing is, I practiced over time and I got better and better, right? So I started recording my presentations, started recording my calls, listening to them again, getting that feedback, and just trying to improve day after day until I got to the point where I am now. So, whether you are really great at sales right off the bat, really good at communicating, or maybe you're not so great, but you would like to be, I just want to let you know that if you continuously improve and you practice and you get that feedback and you learn from it, you can get to wherever you want to go, because that's just the natural cycle of improvement. So as long as you have the willingness to learn and you're not stubborn and you're willing to admit when you're wrong, or you're willing to admit that you can improve, then you will obviously get better at sales if you really put in the work. Now we're gonna go into the sales mindset number 3, and that is having good intentions. Now, when it comes to sales, people can feel whether you mean well for them or not. And I'll give you an example. I got a sales coaching and consulting business, right? And I remember somebody cold messaged me on LinkedIn asking me for a meeting, and they said that they can help me generate more business, right? And so I'm like, all right, sure. If you can help me make more money, I'm willing to have a conversation with you. So this person basically made all these huge promises. They're like, oh, I'm gonna make you so much money, and all you have to do is pay me this fixed fee in the thousands of dollars, right? And I was thinking, hey, maybe this is not a bad deal because I pay him a couple thousand and he makes me way more than that, okay? Now here's the thing. I thought about it and I kind of felt like his offer was too good to be true. Like, if he can actually promise those results, why is he asking for so little, right? So it was kind of iffy, and I kind of felt a little funny, right? And I felt that he didn't have good intentions. So I said, okay, look, instead of paying you a fixed fee like you want up front, how about we just do a revenue share and I give you a percentage of the profits, okay? And so the way I did the math was that, so whatever he asked for, right, by me offering a profit sharing, then I would actually pay him 5 times as much, and all he has to do is do the exact same work and deliver on the results that he promised. And this person came back to me and he made an excuse and said, oh, I can't do that because it's too confusing for my accountant, and he just made up an excuse. So obviously something's really fishy here, right? Like, I had the feeling that he was just gonna take my money and run and not do any of the work, especially if he is unwilling to do profit sharing and 5 times the amount of money he can make from me if he delivers the results. So obviously, I felt his intentions were not right and I felt like he was scamming me, okay? Now, when it comes to you guys and when you're selling something, it's the same thing. If you are trying to sell something that you don't believe in, people can feel it. If you're selling a bad product, let's say you're working for, another company, people can tell. And it's very difficult to trick someone to buy a product or service, right? And at the same time, as a salesperson, you don't feel good doing that. However, if you truly believe in your product or service or whatever it is that you're selling, and you really do think that if someone buys it, their life is going to be so much better, whether it's their personal life or their business life, then people are going to feel that, right? So whether you have your own business or you're working for another person, if you really believe in the product to the bottom of your heart, you're going to be able to communicate that to somebody else, and they're going to feel your energy, your passion, and they're going to trust you because you have so much conviction in what you're saying, assuming that your product and service is actually good, right? So when you have those good intentions, not only do people feel it, but anytime you come into objections or any type of complication in the deal, you're easily going to be able to overcome them because you believe in your product so much and you believe that you can help this person. You're going to be able to just jump over any type of obstacle. However, if you don't have good intentions and you're basically scamming someone or selling something that you don't believe in, it's going to be hard to handle these objections because you don't even believe in the product yourself. So why should someone believe you? But if you have the good intentions and you really want to help someone out, and by helping them out, you're actually helping yourself out as well because you're earning commission, right? It's a win-win scenario, and people can feel that authenticity, and your sales success is just gonna skyrocket. And to come full circle about that guy who tried to scam me, right? I actually checked up on him right before I was making this video, and his LinkedIn account is completely deleted. So that's really fishy because why would you delete your LinkedIn account unless you're scamming people, right? And but yeah, intentions people can really feel. And here's the thing about sales. It's like a lot of people feel that sales is sleazy and slimy, and to be honest, it's only like that if you make it like that. But again, if you believe in your product and you really want to help people and make their lives better, then sales is one of the best professions to be in, right? Your job is to literally help people, but you got to make sure that whatever it is you're selling, you really do believe that it will help another person. So with that said, those are going to be the 3 sales mindset tips to achieve sales excellence. Started with your attitude, then we went into your ability to learn, and finally we talked about having good intentions. If you have these 3 elements, your sales success is pretty much inevitable. So with that said, if you got a lot of value out of this video, make sure you give this video a like, because again, every like does count. And if you want to see new sales videos every single week, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So lastly, in the comments, let me know what's one actionable takeaway that you got from this video, because I'm really curious to learn what kind of value you're getting so I can make more videos to help you guys out as much as I can. So with that said, my name is Patrick Deng, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.